For the Honorable Member representing Ngoroje Ward.
I'm the convener of this event, Apostle Bulus, popularly known as Autan Zaki. The security men in this hall, the spiritual leaders, our dear women, and the wonderful youth that are here. I want to say a very good afternoon to all of us. I bring you greetings from our leader, my boss, our boss, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Dr. Abu Kefas. He sends his greetings and his love. He said he would have been here in person, but as you know, for the few weeks it has been an uproar of events that his attention is highly and his presence is highly required in those events. And as I speak to you, he's far away from the state, but he sends his regards. And he has asked me to inform each and everyone that is seated in this hall that he is so much aware that with this, it is the beginning of a greater growth in both the youths and the women in Taraba State. As a person, I wouldn't speak for too long. I'll just say one or two things. Cropping from the topic of this summit. You see, crime, if I might start with, crime is not an unconscious act. Crime is very, very much a conscious act. And how does crime begin? It starts from the mind. It starts from your heart. And if our hearts are renewed, I want to be very much sure that we will have a crime-free society. Our youths that are gathered in this hall and those that are watching from wherever they are within the state and outside the state must get to understand that to stop crime in our society and community, it must be a deliberate act. How must it be a deliberate act? Crime has never brought about the growth of any young man. Most of the crimes that we encounter today are growth-related crime, especially among the youths. I want to grow faster than where I am. I want to step 5 steps ahead from where I am. And I must tell you that crime has never brought about any meaningful growth. You must deliberately have it in your mind when you wake up in the morning, fasting. When you wake up in the morning fasting, just talk to yourself. Tell yourself that today I won't be provoked by anything. I just want to be happy. Start creating the happiness within you. I just want to be happy. I just want to get my daily bread and I am very okay. And as soon as you begin to have this mentality, you begin to see crime as crime. And I want to be very sure that if we grow this deliberately, crime is going to be a thing of the past. Let me digress a little and talk about drug abuse. How does drug abuse start up within or in the lives of our youths? I speak mostly about the youth because you find out that they are the most people that are involved in these crimes. Your peer groups, your friends. Most of you weren't brought up from a family where you grew up to see your parents taking drugs, or you grow up to see your parents deep into abusing drugs. What do we even mean by drug abuse? It's taking overdose of whatever that a physician could ordinarily prescribe to you. And that is why some of these drugs today are banned. Most of these drugs were not contrabands. If you talk about the tramol was originally not a contraband. But because of the overdose that you take it, thinking you want to get high, you want to get... No, it doesn't happen that way. Check around your peer groups. Tell yourself, look at the family you're coming from. Look at yourself. Get too emotional about drugs. As a young man, get too emotional about it. And as soon as you find yourself in that situation, you realize that most of these things are really not important. Let me say this before I close. Apostle Autan Zaki, I want to first of all commend you for this wonderful job. In a very short time, we've seen, we've heard all the progresses that you've made, the nooks and crannies of this metropolis that you have crossed. And I want to tell you, it has just started. If you think you want to receive any applaud, I'm sorry, there's no applaud for now. You have just started. And greater task ahead lies for you. This summit, I don't want to speak for His Excellency or what he has not told me to say, but I do want to believe that this should be done quarterly. Quarterly. Because it is the continuous renewal, continuous speaking, continuous engagement with someone that helps the person changes his mindset. So I believe with the continuous or with the constant or with the engagement, it will happen. And I want to say this. Forgive me, I think the head of the correctional center is here, or the NDLA. Permit me to say this. Some of the crimes or some of the drug abuse related cases that are being taken to the correctional centers, I think they are not meant for those places. I want you to start thinking, Apostle, of a rehabilitation center. A rehabilitation center where these people can be cropped and taken to, and then continually trying to see how you can rehabilitate them. Because I understand that, I'm sorry to say this, I know I'm on camera, but I want to believe that some of the people that are taken to the correctional centers, formerly known as our prison, comes back worse than they went. And if we need to start doing something to change the situation on ground, then we have to start doing the things differently. Finally, I want to let you know that from the legislature, we are going to stand by these programs, and if there are places you want us to come in relating to laws that will strengthen this movement on the youth and women angle, please never hesitate to knock on our doors. We shall always be ready. We shall always be there to listen to you and to make sure that we work with you for the betterment and for the growth of our state and our entire citizen. Lastly, I want to admonish all of us that have found ourselves here. We are not here by mistake. As we go, we should not forget that it is the task of everyone seated here to be part of those campaigning for this program. We should be part of those campaigning against drug abuse and crimes in our community. I want to believe with so doing, we shall one day wake up to find out that we don't need securities to guide us. We don't need securities in our roads. We don't need securities around our homes. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Please, a round of applause. So much intelligence.